Welcome to Joe Marquis Wagers. I am Joe Marquis. Today is Saturday, December 2nd, 2023. Here are my wagers for Sunday's Week 13 games. I don't have a wager on every game, but I do have 28 total wagers on the Sunday games. As you can tell, I've had a little more time to research now that we are home. The first game I looked at is the Detroit Lions at the New Orleans Saints. The Lions are favored by 4, and the game total is set at 47. Just 10 days ago, I was cursing the Lions for their poor performance, so it might surprise you to find that I am backing them on this one. They are still a good team coming off a very poor performance and will be playing a team under 500 in the Saints. They are also coming off 10 days of rest. The Saints have lost 2 in a row and are struggling to put points on the board. They have not cleared 20 points in their last 2 games. The Lions have scored at least 22 points in each of their last 4 games. I'll lay the points and take the Lions -4. The Saints' best DB, Marshawn Lattimore, is out for this game, so I'm going to play Amon-Ra St. Brown to exceed his receiving yards prop of 81.5 yards. I also like Laporta to exceed his receiving yards props of 40.5 yards. I also think the game script will have the Lions in the lead and Montgomery will get his yards on the ground. I have him exceeding his rushing prop of 64.5 yards. Saheed and Michael Thomas are both out in this game. I wanted to play the Taysom Hill combined rushing and receiving prop, but I couldn't find it on FanDuel or DraftKings. If you can find it, I would consider playing it. The only one I found was his rushing prop, and it was at like 25, which, I mean, is doable, but not enough for me to put some money down on it. The next game I looked at is the Miami Dolphins at the Washington Commanders. This game has the largest spread and the highest total of the day. The Dolphins are favored by 9, and the game total is set at 49.5. I thought about playing the game total, but I don't trust the Commanders to hold up their end of the scoring, so I'm just going to play the Dolphins' team total of 29.5 yards. The Commanders' defense is horrible against the pass. The Dolphins have been working Waddle into the offense more as he has cleared 100 yards in each of his last 2 games. So I'm going to play Waddle to exceed his modest receiving prop of 65.5 yards. The Commanders are going to be forced to throw the ball just to keep up in this game. I'm going to play Sam Howell to exceed his passing yard prop of 262.5 yards. Howell still leads the entire league in passing yards, so I was surprised that this one was so reasonable. I am also going to play him to exceed his passing attempts prop of 38.5. He has exceeded this number in 8 of his last 10 games. I'm also going to play the Dolphins in one half of a 2-team 6-point teaser. I'm going to play them with the Eagles. This will bring the Dolphins line down to -3 and the Eagles line up to +9 against the Niners. This is my largest money wager of the day. Speaking of the Eagles, they will be facing the San Francisco 49ers at home. The Niners are actually favored by 3 in Philadelphia, and the game total is set at 47.5. When you play the Eagles, you need to be able to throw the ball. Their rush defense is excellent, so I'm going to play McCaffrey under 17.5 rush attempts. Only one running back all year has gone over the rush attempt prop against the Eagles. The Eagles struggle against elite tight ends, so I'm going to play Kittle to go over his 3.5 receptions. I'm also going to play Brock Purdy to go over his 1.5 passing touchdowns. I think this is going to be high scoring, and I'm also going to play the Niners to exceed their team total of 25.5 points. The next game I looked at is the Cleveland Browns at the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are favored by 3.5 points, and the game total came in at 40.5. In a blast from the past, Joe Flacco will be starting at QB for the Browns in this game. Flacco has never been what you would call a mobile QB. At his age now, I think Aaron Donald will just see him as a tackling dummy. I'm going to play Donald to exceed his prop of 0.75 of a sack, and I'm also going to play the Browns to go under their team total of 17.5 points. With Flacco at QB, the Browns are going to want to run the ball and then run the ball some more. I'm going to play Jerome Ford to exceed his rushing yard prop of 50.5 yards, as well as his rush attempts prop of 12.5. Another interesting thing about the Browns is that at home, their defense only gives up 10 points a game. On the road, they give up almost 30 points a game. This game is in LA, so I'm going to play the Rams to exceed their team total of 22.5 points. I'm also going to play Kyren Williams to exceed his rushing prop of 63.5 yards. Last week was his first week back from injury, and he rushed for 143 yards against the Cardinals. The next game I looked at is the Carolina Panthers at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs are favored by 5.5, and the game total is set at 36.5. The Panthers fired their coach this week. Almost like clockwork, teams always seem to play better on the first game following the firing. I'm not sure the Panthers will cover the 5.5, so I played them as part of a two-team 6-point teaser with the Arizona Cardinals. This brought the line to plus 11.5 for both the Panthers and the Cardinals. So, I mean, even if both teams lose by 10, then I still win. This is my second highest wager of the day. The Panthers' best offensive weapon has been Adam Thielen all year long. I'm going to play him to exceed both of his receiving props of 58.5 yards and 5.5 receptions. I'm also going to play Rachaad White to exceed his rushing prop of 68.5 yards, as well as his combined rushing and receiving prop of 95.5 yards. He rushed for 100 yards last week, so if he did that again, that would hit on both of those. The next game I looked at is the Kansas City Chiefs at the Green Bay Packers. The Chiefs are favored by 6, and the game total is set at 42.5. I have two props in this one, and they both came from other sources. One came from onlyplayers.com, and the other one comes from ESPN, but I like them both so much, I decided to play them. The first one is Christian Watson under 3.5 receptions. I got this one from Mike Clay. Watson has only exceeded this prop once all year long, and against the Kansas City defense, I don't see him breaking it in this game. This next one is interesting. I am going to play the Chiefs to go under their second half team total of 12.5 points. The Chiefs average almost 18 points in the first half and less than 7 points in the second half. They have only exceeded 12.5 points in the second half once all year long. This one has been hitting like crazy, and it's just such kind of an oddball one that I think a lot of people just haven't picked up on it. The last game I looked at is the Atlanta Falcons at the New York Jets. The Falcons are favored by 1.5, and the game total came in at 33.5. Almost looks like an Iowa game. The only way to really have success against the Jets defense is on the ground. I'm going to play Bijan Robinson to exceed his rushing prop of 57.5 yards. I'm also going to play Quincy Williams to exceed his tackles plus assists prop of 7.5. This one came in at plus money, and this is a number he hits regularly. With the Falcons focused on running the ball, he is going to be involved in a lot of tackles. All right, that is all 28 wagers I have played for tomorrow's games. I did go ahead and play all of these in a parlay, minus the teasers and a couple of others that are not available in a parlay. It came in at plus 3,364,338. I didn't have any free tokens, so I just put $1 on it. If a miracle happens and this hits, that dollar will become $33,644. While not enough to retire on, it would be an excellent payout. I will post another video on Monday to preview the Bengals at Jaguars game for Monday Night Football. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, Joe Marquis Wagers. Good luck on all of your wagers and parlays tomorrow.